Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. With more than 1,000 palm trees and a Caribbean color scheme, the facility projects a South Beach flavor that distinguishes Homestead-Miami from other major racetracks in America. It took a while longer to get the right combination for the racing surface. In its first iteration, the track had 4 separate low-banked corners, reminiscent of a mini Indianapolis. That configuration failed to promote good racing and unfortunately also provided bad crash angles. Widening the apron failed to correct either of these problems. A major reconfiguration of the track during the summer of 1997 brought a more conventional layout, sweeping 180-degree corners at either end of the oval. Close, but still no cigar. But the most recent work on the track, during which the track assumed variable banking up to 20 degrees in the corners, flattening to 3 degrees on the straightaways, has done the trick. Everyone agrees at Homestead-Miami, the beauty is now more than skin deep. It's race number 14 of the IROC Challenge Series, and it's next on HBR TV. Race details for tonight: 80-degree ambient temperature, 57% humidity, relatively overcast skies with a 2-mile-per-hour breeze. Track temp down to 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Should be nice and cool for the opening stages of this race here tonight. Qualifying already in the books. Let's talk about the race distance: 120 laps. Stage break coming at lap 30. 2 sets of tires over the wall and a 65% fuel capacity for these drivers. With that said, let's go trackside here as the warm-up continues. Fast time so far is a 00 off Mike Cook, a 32.82. Jaden Hopp second quick, Brandon Mefford, Aaron Smith, Chris Mefford, your top 5. Still fastest at 32.82. Jaden Hopp 32.83. Mefford at the same time, likely just a tick slower. $20-car field here tonight. Homestead-Miami Speedway. Looks to be right now only 16 have taken any laps in the warm-up session. As many as 13 laps, as few as 1. Interestingly, Mike Cook scraping the right side of his car all the way down the front stretch here. I don't know if he's just messing around or trying to drift it through 1 and 2. He's doing a good job so far. 30 seconds left in the warm-up. We'll get right to our starting grid after that. Mike Cook doing his best Kyle Larson impression. So warm-up does come to an end. We got Lindsay in the chat, says happy Monday. I don't know if there's such a thing as a happy Monday, but we are racing, so I guess we'll take that much. So the warm-up concludes. Mike Cook was fastest. Let's not delay it any longer, though. Let's get to our starting grid. On the pole position with a lap time of 32.666. It is the 3 of Brian McCann, starting to wonder if he's got to deal with the devil with a lap time like that. Aaron Smith, second quick, 65 thousandths shy of the pole. Starting third, Jaden Hopp. Starting fourth is Brandon Mefford. Fifth starter is Mike Cook. Neil Quick will start from the 6th position. William Tyndall, the number 62, will start 7th. Jason Nilges starts 8th. Rick Kelly with Chaos Motorsports. He rolls from the 9th spot with Cook Quick starting 10th. Stan Carnathan will roll 11th. Chris Wally starts 12th. 13th starter is Jeff Noe, the number 55. Trevor Quick will start 14th to his outside. Then Chris Mefford starts 15th. Doug Wysocki 16th. Josh Funkhauser, the number 81, he'll start from the 17th spot. Michael McDonald in the number 16 machine. He'll start from the 18th spot. 19th goes to Matt Kopp in the 22. Josh Braley in the 28 machine will round out the field in the final starting position, number 20. Your starting grid here from Homestead-Miami Speedway as the field starts to roll out of pit lane. In the chat saying, go Hop. Of course, talking about the 4 of Jaden Hopp. Jaden starting that 3rd position, 2nd row on the inside. Pace car is off, field into the Geico restart zone. Barney with the flag, and he's waving it. We're underway here from Homestead-Miami Speedway. You've already got guys lifting into 3, saving fuel. Unbelievable. Lap 1 just about in the books here. Brian McCann leads him on to turn number 4 ahead of Aaron Smith. Brandon Mefford back in the 3rd spot. Jaden Hopp slips to the 4th position, but closing the gap. A few feet between the 83 and the 4 as they work on to turn number 2. Mike Cook working the high side already. Again, it was fast in the warm-up, fastest in the warm-up, that is, working to the outside of Neil Quick. Cook might have gotten the outside wall there just a brief moment. Ken Couch says, good evening, Steve. Good evening, Ken. Again, we're in the stream chat here, and just so everybody's aware, You guys don't think I'm talking to myself. We do have 2 streams going on here, one on IROC TV on YouTube and, of course, HBR TV on YouTube. So if you're not understanding what I'm referring to because it's not coming up in your chat, it's probably on the other platform, whether it's at HBR TV or IROC. Nonetheless, you could cheat a little bit. You could mute one side and open the YouTube on IROC TV on one browser and then open HBR TV in another browser, and you can watch them both. While you're at it, hit the like button for both of them. Help us out, help IROC TV out. It's a win-win. Back out front, McCann still in the lead, and they're definitely already lifting out of the throttle with the lift and coast to save some fuel. Lindsay in the chat says the sound tonight is phenomenal. Man, I hope it is. I haven't changed anything, so maybe it's just the track. I don't know. It's these beautiful Gen 4 Cup cars ripping around Homestead-Miami Speedway. A lot of these guys are on the bottom for now, but it did seem like the top was a quick way around. Curious when those guys start to try and work in that top line. Just running in the 7th spot just ahead of Neil Quick. Quick is down a couple of spots, started P6. And don't read too deep into that. Again, Neil very good at taking care of his equipment throughout the course of the run, throughout the course of the race. No sense in pushing too hard too early. Some guys are good at doing that all race long. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Back out front, though, I'm going to ride on board here with Brian McCann and see exactly when he's lifting, listening to him save. Yeah, he's lifting off here. Got the clutch in. He might be shutting that car completely off. McCann might have scraped the outside wall just a bit before turn-in down to turn 1. No harm, no foul. Maybe a little scrape on the right side, but no dents, no dings, no damage. Meanwhile, Cook Quick hits pit lane here early. This might be a short pit type situation. Is he trying to play a fast one here? Very similar to what you'd see on a road course. Very moment that pit window opens, taking advantage of it. Cook Quick down pit lane here. He's going to lose a lap for sure, but topping off the fuel tank, maybe not a bad idea. Hopefully this all kind of comes back to the 23. We'll see how this one plays out. He's last 1 lap down. And again, a caution coming out would certainly get him back on the lead lap with that lucky dog, being that free pass position. But now the 23 is going to be off cycle of everybody else. Top 2 starting to close up here. So is Brandon Mefford and Jaden Hopp. Really top 4. Connection issues for Aaron Smith showing itself again. We haven't seen that a ton this season out of the 70, but we have seen it. Keeping in mind here, this is the 14th race of the season. Aaron Smith, he's got race wins in 9 of the previous races. Pretty stellar run so far. With all that said, Brian McCann fresh off a win in the Noble Racing Series just yesterday. That was out at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, but he ran away with it. Put it on pole, led the most laps, won the race. Trying to make it 2 days in a row here, but he's going to have to fend off the 70 of Aaron Smith and Brandon Mefford at a minimum here. Jaden Hopp running 4th. He's likely to be a contender before this one's over as well. Rick Kelly making his way around Neil Quick. Quick has now dropped back to the 11th position. He's lost now 5 spots since the start of this race. But again, don't panic if you're a Neil Quick fan. Just going to assume here that this is a strategy play by the 2. Take care of the tires. Again, only 2 sets available over the wall. 3 overall if you count the set they start the race on. Almost guaranteed they're going to have to make at least 1 pit stop without changing tires, if not more. As long as Neil Quick doesn't shed too much speed as to lose a lap, should be just fine. Again, we do have a caution coming out here at lap 30. That'll be our stage break. Then it'll be a 90-lap run to the finish after that, or roughly 90 laps. Back out in front, still Brian McCann, Aaron Smith. Aaron just a car length off the back bumper of the 3, at least for the time being. So right on board with Aaron Smith. He's doing the same, lift and coast. You don't even hear that engine running. It's an interesting thing I just saw there. When he picked up the throttle, though, to get back to the gas, lets the clutch back out. That car was a little unsettled. Let's see if it happens again here in the apex of 3 and 4. Very slightly, but you saw Brian McCann have the same situation occurring. As soon as he lifts the clutch and gets back to the throttle, the rear end of the race car steps out just slightly. Lucky enough to get enough side force that it corrects it. And it happens to Aaron Smith again in 1 and 2. So that's one thing that they're going to be battling for sure, is trying to hang on to those cars while also trying to save fuel. Field getting strung out here already, 17 laps in from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Some small battles occurring here. Latter stages, latter half of the top 10. Josh Funkhauser, the 81, just in behind the 82. Stan Carnathan. Jason Nile just applying pressure for the 8th spot. Continuing to watch this fight. Nile just closes the gap on Funkhauser here. Had to lift just a bit, slowed his momentum, didn't have a place to go with that run. Makes a look to the inside now into turn 3. Does he have an opportunity? Funkhauser is going to stay up top here. He'll be able to build a run out of the corner. That's probably what's going to save him at least this lap. But you got 82 or Carnathan just ahead. Going to provide a little slipstream, but Nile just actually has a really good run out of 4 regardless. Still not quite clear of Funkhauser. May have him here out of 2. Funkhauser doing a good job maintaining his position and not allowing the 88 to complete that pass, utilizing the outside lane as it is the longer way around, but it is the faster way around. So that's certainly helping the 81 here on corner exit. Doesn't need to put as much wheel into it, can carry more mile per hour through the corner and onto exit. And that's what's gotten him back around the 88 here. Nile just never really fully able to get clear. Meanwhile, back out front, Brian McCann still with the race lead. Now 0.6 of a second on Aaron Smith, starting to stretch it out just a bit. Now again, we got to think about that for a minute as well. Aaron Smith may have backed off intentionally here to allow a little bit more fresh air on the nose of his race car. You tuck in too tight to the lead car, it can have a little bit of an aerodynamic push. Aaron Smith backing up just enough. It's certainly helping the car corner better, but not as close of a battle as we had early on as we get lap 22 up on the board. Back to Nilgis and Funkhauser. They're still going at it here. This would be for the 8th spot. Side by side out of turn 2. Bit of a drag race down the backstretch, but Funkhauser again with that outside line still able to carry more speed. Just might have enough here to get by, but no, Funkhauser is going to continue to fight back up top. Meanwhile, the 31 of Rick Kelly, he's closed in on the both of these two. Funkhauser way up the racetrack. Very distinct lines here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. You can probably get away with 3 lines if you're careful. As it stands right now, the outside seems to be better, at least as far as defending. View from the blimp, Funkhauser has extended his advantage over the 88 now about 3 or 4 car lengths. Nilgis does close the gap a bit on corner entry. Funkhauser does drop it back down to the low lane now that he doesn't need to defend quite as hard. Brian McCann still out in front of Aaron Smith. Nothing's really changed there in the top 4. It's McCann, Smith, Mefford, and Hopp. Now just going to drive it way down to the bottom here, trying to get by. He can get alongside of Funkhauser. We've seen this now 3 or 4 different times as this battle continues to be waged. Turn number 2, Niall just looked almost clear, but didn't want to risk just coming up the racetrack and pulling the slide job. Just out of 4, he's still got the nose out in front. Dive it through here deep, get back to the power. Funkhauser, though, still not willing to give it up. The thing that I'm seeing here with these two drivers, it's a fun battle to watch, but they're both burning up their tires doing this. Again, as they battle, though, you see Rick Kelly, he's closed the gap. Neil Quick is now becoming part of the picture as well. Funkhauser not willing to give up here, and he's gotten back around Nilgis here. Jason might want to say, you know what, I'm just going to ride in behind the 81 here, save my stuff for a little while. Again, that first pit stop here coming up very soon as the stage is about to complete. McCann still out in front. Aaron Smith has cut down that deficit back to about a car length. At the stripe, lap 30 goes up on the board. Should be the end of our stage here momentarily. Brian McCann out of turn number 4. Caution about to come out.
Caution's out.
And there it is, yellow in the air. Complete our first and only stage break, at least. Brian McCann, your stage winner. So, stage results looks like Brian McCann, Aaron Smith, Brandon Mefford, Jaden Hopp, William Tyndall, Mike Cook, Stan Carnathan, Josh Funkhauser, Jason Niles, Neil Quick. So the field has caught the iRacing pace car. We should see just about everybody come down pit road here. The question is, Cook quick. Does he make an opportunity here to pit? Though he did top off for fuel early on. I'm starting to wonder what the decision and thought process was there. 65% fuel, that's going to be cutting it close regardless. I think he came down, it was about lap 8. 7 possibly. Brian McCann into his pit box clean. Fuel only for McCann. Fuel only for Aaron Smith. Looks like fuel only for just about everybody up and down pit road. McCann leaves first. It's going to be McCann, Aaron Smith, Brandon Mefford, the top 3. Then Jaden Hopp and William Tyndall. So with that, we're going to step aside, get a break out of the way here after our stage. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens, UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
at Homestead-Miami Speedway for the IROC Challenge Series. Pace car lights are off. We're working through turn 4, so we'll back to the green flag here in just a moment. Back to the pace car, takes the hard left down pit road. Barney with the green back in his hand.
Ready, green flag.
We're back racing from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Not even complete already. These guys are saving fuel once again. That's the name of the game with it. And the caution comes back out. Stan Carnathan might be in trouble indeed. Him and the 28 of Josh Braley in trouble. So is Cook Quick in the 23 further down the road. So let's get a look at it, see what happened here with Stan Carnathan initially. Certainly some contact with the 82 and the 28. Let's back that up here a little bit and get an idea here more so what happened. So this is down the back straightaway. And one car in the fence ahead. You see the sparks flying just ahead. I think that might have been Cook Quick. Yes, no, it was Rick Kelly in the fence, and the 28 comes down to avoid the slower car that's in the wall. Doesn't see the 82 of Carnathan, it seems, and slides down. Those two make contact. See what happened here with Cook Quick. Again, he was sideways down the racetrack as well. Looks like the 5 gets into him. Oh, yeah, drives right underneath him, lifts the tire straight off the ground. And the 16 of McDonald gets into him as well. So we had 2 different incidents going on at the same time in the same spot. I don't know if the 28 was lifting and checking up for all of these incidents or not. We get one more opportunity here. Let's get a look at it from the 28's onboard camera. A little late for that. Let's back it up further. Full speed. Yeah. Definitely from my perspective here, looks like Braley was lifting and pulling down here to get out of the way of Rick Kelly, who was in the fence with that wall magnet, as we've talked about before. So, working our second caution of the night. First caution for cause. Remember, our very first caution was for the stage break. This one coming out very quickly after the restart. Top 2 are ready to go. Brian McCann, Aaron Smith already formed up 2x2. Still yet to see the 1 to go signal. Jason Nile just going to come down pit lane here and top off the tank. Neil Quick, Trevor Quick, Chris Mefford, Doug Wysocki, Matt Kopp, McDonald, Cook Quick, Stan Carnathan, all doing the same. You're about mid-pack on down. Just about everybody taking an opportunity here for a little bit more fuel. And it'll put these guys off sequence with everybody else. Not by a ton. but enough. Awful quiet out in that stream chat tonight. We had Jerry started off with the boogity boogity boogity. We had Lindsay and then Ken Couch, and it's been crickets ever since. Well, you see it, the pace car lights are out. Not a very pretty looking lineup here as they're starting to come together here very late. Pace car makes that real hard left, almost hitting the barrels like Kyle Larson. Green flag back in the air. Brian McCann on the jump. Great restart, great reaction time for the 83 and the 70. The racetrack here. Maybe he's going to try and change some things here. Try a different line. Now again, being that many of these races are run at reduced fuel capacities at 65% here tonight at Homestead, running that high line might be faster, but being that it is the longest distance around the racetrack, you may or may not see guys take that opportunity to do just that because they're going to use the fuel a lot faster running up top than they are on the bottom. The race leader now, McCann, though, he's still on the bottom side of the racetrack. We have seen that that's not necessarily the fastest way around as far as trying to defend an attack or make a pass for the race lead or any position for that matter. But down at the bottom right now with some distance out the back window, McCann's making the low side work, and that's right where I think he needs to be, at least for now. Little wiggle back behind here, 51. The outside, the pink and white machine, and the 62 down low. That's William Tyndall, Jaden Hopp in the 4. The 81 of Funkhauser coming into the picture as well. Josh Funkhauser, though, I think he did take tires on that pit stop. Was lap 32, so one of the very few drivers that opted to take his tires early on here. Funkhauser kind of trapped, though, between the 62 and the 51. He's got all that grip, nowhere to go with it. Tyndall in the 62 down low. Funkhauser on the outside. He's going to put the power down a little bit sooner. Interesting that Tyndall was able to drive through there even on the bottom. Funkhauser's got some pace here again. He's trying to take advantage of those fresher tires. He's looking to the outside on Chris Wally. Wally shuts the door on the front stretch. With only 2 sets over the wall, you really need to go when you make the decision to take those tires. Because if you just go out there and cruise around, run laps, you're not really getting the full benefit out of those tires. As the 62 comes up, there was almost contact with Funkhauser. Mike Cook in the 8th spot, the 00 in behind Funkhauser. He's starting to close in as well. A little bit of a bottleneck here between the 62 and the 51, and Funkhauser not able to make his way around either one of them right now. I'll tell you, if I'm him, I'm starting to second guess the decision to take those tires if he's not able to make real aggressive moves here against guys with older rubber underneath them. to see how that pans out throughout the course of the race here, latter stages of it for that matter. Funkhauser makes contact with Chris Wally. He gets turned down to the inside, gets the inside wall. We stay green because he's not in the way. Funkhauser sustaining some damage after getting spun down to the inside after contact with the 51 of Chris Wally. Funkhauser goes back into the 15th spot. Again, does have some damage. It doesn't appear to be terminal by any means, but no faster pair in this series, so that could still pose a problem for the 81. He's going to have to get that fixed when he hits pit lane, or if he doesn't get an opportunity under the yellow flag, or not under right now, he may just have to wing it, drive it how it is. Meanwhile, not much has changed out in front. McCann still with the race lead, almost a full second now over Aaron Smith. Jaden Hopp has worked his way up into the 3rd spot. Brandon Meffert now 4th. Top 4 running in the same order they started the race on. And Jaden Hopp with a run, looking to the inside. Hopp wants that 2nd spot. Tired of playing second fiddle to the 70. Hopp and Smith down the back straightaway. Hopp to the inside into turn number 3. He might have Aaron cleared on a 4 here. There it is. Aaron Smith tucks into the 3rd spot. Jaden Hopp now up into P2. Meanwhile, about a lap ago, it looks like Cook Quick has had an issue on the racetrack. Let's get a look and see what happened to the 23. I don't know if it was a full-on issue or if he just pulls it down to the inside and stops. It looks like it's just pulling it down and calling it a day. Watching a battle for position here. This for the 7th spot between Mike Cook and the 55 of Jeff Mill. Cook way up the racetrack, just barely off that outside wall, pulls it back down, still going to have a run out of 4. Going to close the gap on the 55 of Jeff Mill. I don't know if he'll have a run. He does. Looking to the inside, no. He's going to stay in the tire tracks of the 55. Tyndall now coming under pressure from Jeff No. Jeff No closes right to the back bumper of Tyndall there. Cut him a break. It's early yet. Still just shy of halfway. Now we're right on board with Jason Algis as he fights with the 31 of Rick Kelly. gas and saving fuel as well. Now just up the racetrack, opens the door for Kelly and McDonald in one fall swoop. McDonald doesn't have enough of a run to make the pass on the bottom side. With all that said, Ken Couch in the stream chat says it's so hard to pass on the bottom with a car on the outside. These cars have so much power, and you have to just squeeze the throttle or you'll spin if you're not careful. But they are a blast to drive. I can echo that. Again, I'm more of a road racer myself, but I really do enjoy driving these stock cars, these oval race cars effectively, on road courses. And even the same applies. You have to be so ginger on the throttle, getting back to the gas on corner exit, especially as the tires start to wear, or you're going to be around backwards before you even know it. Lyle just fighting back at the bottom, trying to get around 31 of Kelly. Still a side-by-side battle. McDonald thought about going up the gut, making it 3 wide. So we're just about halfway. Race leader still Brian McCann over the 4 of Jaden Hopp, but Hopp has closed the gap now to a quarter second. You see it's only a couple car lengths between the 3 and the 4. But with all that said, we're going to start to see some pit stops here pretty soon. Jeff Noe in the 83 of Brandon Mefford now fighting it out. Following up with Josh Funkhauser once again after his incident with Chris Wally on the backstretch. With those fresh tires, look where he's at. He's closed right back in behind Chris Wally and Rick Kelly down the backstretch. Shows you the difference in what fresh tires can do for you. But Funkhauser wasn't able to make the pass early on with those newer tires. He's closed right back in. Let's see if he can get it done this time. Oh, here we go, 3 wide once again. Wally was up top, was going to start to come down, but Funkhauser was there. He gets Wally, gets Tyndall. Tyndall's going to fight back on the bottom. Funkhauser still, even with that left front damage, certainly has the pace advantage here with the fresher rubber. Kelly up the racetrack. Tyndall's going to take advantage. Now, interestingly here, Tyndall is actually in the 18th position. He's the first car 1 lap down, so he must have made a pit stop here as of late. In fact, he did. Lap 59, he took 4 tires, so he's on new tires relatively as well. Tyndall's checking out from these two. Funkhauser closes back into Rick Kelly, a couple car lengths off the back bumper. Chris Wally's going to hit pit lane. We expected some of these drivers to start coming down here pretty soon. Wally slides to a stop in his pit box. Gonna take tires. Right sides for sure. And a set of 4 going on the number 51 machine. He drops the jack, he's down and away. Pit stop, 14.72 seconds. Good pit stop for Chris Wally. He's back in the fight. Aaron Smith from the top 3. He heads down pit road, as well as Brandon Mefford. McCann hopping quick now the top 3. Tires, fuel. Aaron Smith, really fast stop, 14.40 seconds as Rick Kelly pulls down into the pits. Right side goes up for the 31. And Rick Kelly's down and away, just over 15 seconds. And Brian McCann from the race lead hits the pit road. Jaden Hopp's going to inherit the top spot. McCann into his pit box at the end of pit road. Ryan McCann, 14.92 the time in the pits. 4 tires and Sunoco race fuel as the race leaders start to bear down. McCann getting up to speed here. He might be okay, might even stay on the lead lap. It looks like he has. Meanwhile, Jeff Noe from the race lead, he's going to come down pit lane as well. Green flag pit stops underway here from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Just about wrapped up with that, trying to get everybody cycled through before, well, somebody makes a mistake and brings out the yellow. Oh, 55 pushes through the box. Jeff Noe has to back her back up. It's going to cost him a lot of time. Mistakes are one thing, but sometimes those mistakes are better to happen during a yellow flag. You definitely do not want to have that be an issue during green flag conditions because you lose so much track position. No finishes up the stop. A good stop once he got in the box, 14.8 seconds, but that's all she wrote. Jason Nile just now from the race lead. He's going to come down pit road. So through the cycle, Aaron Smith has taken over the top spot on the racetrack. And I was going to have to say here, that's going to be due to the fact he had a faster pit stop. 14.40 seconds for Aaron Smith. 4 tires and fuel. Brian McCann runs second, just about a 10th and a half off the back bumper. You're in a 14.92. Just a 10th and a half faster. He'd be in a race lead right now. In fact, he's right there in the back bumper, but he's going to have to take this one away the old-fashioned way. Making their way around Josh Braley in the 28. Well, 72 laps in here. We're going to take our first HBR TV side-by-side break. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Homestead-Miami Speedway, under our not our first caution, but our most recent caution. Jaden Hopp and Josh Braley involved in that. As you watched during the side-by-side, Braley got loose out of turn number 4, came around just as the 4 was trying to exit the corner. Nowhere really for Jaden to go, collects the 28, and they both go for a ride down in the infield, hitting the inside pit wall. Jaden's going to come to the attention of his pit crew. Again, no fast repairs in this league. He's going to have to get this thing straightened out the best that he can. Still not out of this thing yet, I'm sure. We've got plenty of racing left, but I think a shot at the race win here likely out of the picture for the 4 of Jaden Hopp. Car doesn't look too bad, I must say. Crew got some repairs made very quickly. Jaden, I believe, has managed to stay on the lead lap through this. I don't think it's over for the 4. I really don't. Again, I think a shot at a win might be out of the question at this point, but I still think a solid top 5 is possible. Jaden's got a lot of pace everywhere we go, and even with a little bit of damage, I think he's still in good shape. The only real damage I'm seeing right now is on that left rear, just above the wheel, which aerodynamically not as big of an issue as you might think. If it were the right rear, I'd be a little more concerned. If that's flattened out and kind of pancaked, you lose a lot of side force. You can't really drive the thing out in yaw. Can't really be too sideways because the air's not going to catch it the way that it used to. But it looks pretty good, so we'll keep an eye here on the 4, see how he goes. Remember, the 81 of Funkhauser had a very similar incident except down the backstretch, and it seemed he had more damage. He still managed to work his way back through the field. Had a lot of pace, so maybe Jane will be okay. We'll see. Pace car pulls off, going back green flag racing here in just a moment. Aaron Smith leads him down. Brian McCann to the outside, and we're back racing. Aaron Smith got clear right away, jumped up the racetrack to get a better entry into turns 1 and 2. Meanwhile, behind the race leaders, Tyndall and Mefford going at it. This for the 3rd spot. On board with William Tyndall, still hanging on to the 3rd position. McCann has taken over the top spot from Aaron Smith on the restart. Battle for the race lead still shaping up here. Smith crossed him back over, goes back to the bottom, trying to fight it out for the top spot. Lap 79 as they work on a turn number 2. Still side by side for the race lead. What a battle we're getting to watch here. Tell you, that outside seems to be the place to be. Really saving fuel at this point. You hear them, they're not lifting much at all. Neil Quick back into the mix here. He's up in there in the top 5 and trying to take positions away even further here. Brendan Mefford, one of those drivers. Tyndall seems to be slowing up the 2, at least for the time being. Neil Quick swatting flies in the cockpit of that number 2 machine. Meanwhile, Brian McCann has finally started to increase his lead over Aaron Smith, albeit only a couple of tenths. We'll still watch this fight here for the 3rd spot. Oh, Chris Wally in the fence on the backstretch. Rick Kelly diving it down to the inside as well, but Chris Wally sustaining some damage as this 82 of Carnathan is up in the fence. Rick Kelly slides up the track, almost contact with the 22 of Kopp. Carnathan back in the wall. Stay under the green flag. Everybody straighten it back out. Go back to this battle here for the 3rd spot. Mefford's got it now. Tyndall's lost a couple, but Neil Quick, we talked about him early on in the race. He was dropping a lot of positions early on, went as far back, I think it's 12th on that first run, but he's turned up the wick in that number 2 Spartan Logistics machine, and out of turn number 4, fighting for the 3rd spot with Brandon Mefford. Quick takes the spot. Mefford swaps lanes. He's going to try and take it back into 3 and 4. Gets alongside, but Quick carries enough speed to clear the 83 mid-corner. This battle happening just about 2 seconds shy of the race leaders. Top 3, McCann, Smith, and Quick. Quick starting to put some distance to the 83 and the 00 of Mike Cook. Lindsay in the chat says, such a close race so far. It certainly has been a fun one to watch. Hey, remember that guy we were talking about earlier? Drives the number 4, Jaden Hopp, after getting wrecked on the front stretch? Yeah, he's back in 7th. This is not over. Jaden Hopp with a clean enough race car, making his way back towards the front, putting pressure on the 62 here. This would be for the 6th position. It will not be long before Jaden Hopp is looking at the top 5 once again. Side by side, Tyndall pushes up the racetrack, has to lift a little bit sideways. Nile just almost gets into him. Tyndall's going to have to back out of it. He's going to lose a couple of spots out of this, but Jaden Hopp now up into the 6th position. Mike Cook, the next one on the list for the 4. 30.5 laps to go for Brian McCann out in front, still scraping the right side on corner entry. We're going to have one more pit stop before this one's over, and I think we're all within that window at this point as far as fuel is concerned. I'd say in the next 5 to 10 laps, you're going to see drivers start to peel off, try to come down. If they have a set of tires left, you'll see it much sooner than later, so they can maximize the benefit of those fresh tires. .92 laps go up on the board. We're going to take our final HBR TV side-by-side break. Stay with us, folks. It's just getting exciting. We'll be back for the finish after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Sun's out. What's your car doing, bud?
Back at Homestead-Miami Speedway, 24 laps to go, and we're under the caution for the fourth time tonight. Brian McCann just recently making his pit stop, and he was caught a lap down as the caution comes out. The question will remain, does McCann have the lucky dog here? He very well could, but we don't know for sure. We're going to find out here in a moment. Let's get a look at the caution here, see what put us under our fourth yellow of the night. Looked like Mike Cook, the culprit here. 0-0 as McCann gets underneath Jaden Hopp, but the 0-0 up the racetrack. Jason Nile just trying to find a way through, just drives through the 0-0. I know we're getting late, but there wasn't room. Let's watch this from the perspective of the 88. Just need to find him. There he is. Getting the onboard of Jason Nile just coming out of turn 4. Both drivers inching their way to the top side. Nile just not quite clear yet. Contact is made and around goes Cook. As long as Neil Quick got to pit lane before the yellow came out, he might be in a really good position here. Everybody else making their pit stops here under the green, or under the caution flag, for that matter. Brian McCann listed as P7, so it looks like he's gotten back to the lead lap, so he's not out of this yet. Again, still under the caution flag here. It's 22 laps to go. Jeff No is your current race leader. He has completed his pit work, but it was fuel only, so he must be out of tires. Aaron Smith, however, is going to restart second. He did take his tires on this pit stop, as did Brandon Mefford. Chris Mefford running fourth. Tires, nope. It's going to be fuel only for the 46. Jaden Hopp, after his struggles, a little bit more repairs. He's still going to restart in fifth. Mike McDonald's going to restart sixth with tires. Trevor Quick will start 7th. Matt Kopp will restart 8th. Doug Wysocki restarting 9th. Rick Kelly restarting 10th. Neil Quick will restart 11th. Brian McCann going to restart 12th. Just as green flag stops, we're about to get really chaotic. Caution comes out, spoils it for some. Jeff No is going to come down. So it's going to move Aaron Smith to the point. Interestingly, I don't know if that was a penalty that the 55 was trying to serve. Or if he was just trying to pull down, knowing that he didn't have tires was going to be in the way. Very sportsmanlike if that's the case, but... So, getting ready for a restart here. Looks like it'll be lap 100, I believe, when we take the green flag. Pace car lights are off, so we're getting ready for it right now. Aaron Smith's going to lead them down over Brandon Mefford, Chris Mefford, Jaden Hopp, Trevor
Green
Quick,
flag,
that's
green
the
flag.
top 5. Green flag in the air. A little wheel spin for the 83. Jaden Hop putting the pressure on. He dives into the bottom here. Blocks the run from the 46 of Chris Mefford. We've got 20 laps to go here from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Meanwhile, Jaden Hop applying pressure again to the 83 of Brandon Mefford, and with ease he goes to the bottom. He's going to take that position away the hard way. That's down low. Jaden Hop real loose out of turn 4, gathers it up, might open the door for Mefford again. Brian McCann up into the 8th spot. More battling here. Brian McCann going up the gut. 3 wide between Mefford and McDonald. Down the backstretch, it's time to go for Brian McCann. He's up into the 6th spot with 19 laps to go. Now, McCann did take tires prior to everybody else, but it was about a half lap later that the caution came out, so it shouldn't make much of a difference at all for the 3, especially with as fast as he has been. McCann to the bottom on the 5 of Trevor Quick. Now McCann into the top 5. Next on the list, it's Neil Quick. Man, the closer to the front you get, the harder they get to pass. Once again, here's a sight we've seen a lot this season. Aaron Smith out in front, Jaden Hop running 2nd. Hop's probably getting tired of that. He wants to take that race win. Still running in the 5th spot behind Neil Quick. 2, maybe 2.5 car lengths off the back bumper. Ken almost seems a little bit stalled out here in that 5th position. McDonald and Rick Kelly fighting it out here. Kelly pulls it hard down to the bottom, in behind the 16. Kelly loses the spot. McDonald up into the 8th position. Biggest mover on the day right now is that number 16, up 10 spots. McDonald taking his last set of tires on this last pit stop under the caution. McDonald trying to take the spot on the high side here on the 62 of Tyndall. Back out front though, Jaden Hop slowly but surely closing the gap on Aaron Smith. Coming to 13 laps to go. There's plenty of time. Both drivers taking their tires on this most recent caution in lap 97, so equal footing. The only difference is Jaden has a little bit of damage, most of it repaired from his incident, but running in behind the 70, at least for the time being, not showing any weaknesses. Aaron Smith edging out just a little bit more, puts 3/10 now on Hop with 12 to go. Brian McCann still in some traffic here. He's behind the 2 of Neil Quick. Just don't know if A, he's got enough time, or B, if being in traffic has really changed the dynamic of this race car. Clean air is king. That was always the theory back in the days of this race car in the Cup Series. Still applies today, but more so with this body style. Very aero sensitive. Jaden Hopp still running in that second position behind Aaron Smith, but not gaining or losing. It's still 3/10 the deficit with 10 laps to go. We'll watch the battle with Rick Kelly and Michael McDonald. Mike on the outside, Kelly down low. McDonald has lost one spot back into the 9th position. McDonald's on the charge here. He's got a good run through the middle of 3 and 4. Doug Wysocki, last car on the lead lap currently. A little bit of right rear damage on the number 34. Race leaders closing in on Wysocki. Just have to wonder if Aaron Smith's going to be able to pass the 34 nice and clean without giving up too much time. Hopp had dropped back to about almost 4/10 of a second behind the 70 of Aaron Smith. Closed that gap back to about a quarter second. Both drivers getting out of turn number 4 about equally. Wysocki goes up the racetrack. I think he's going to let these guys go on by. Hopefully not cause any issues between the two. Hopp with a good run out of turn number 2. Just carry some of that speed down the straightaway. Not close enough to make a move into 3, and he's running out of time. Turn 2, they get through Doug Wysocki. At least Aaron Smith does. Hopp doesn't lose any ground, though. In fact, he gains a little bit, just over 2/10 here, coming to 5 laps to go. Jaden Hopp chasing the race car, a little loose on corner exit, giving it all he's got. Smith still with the lead here with 4 laps to go. Jaden Hopp runs second, just under 4/10. Now it's about 4/10. Out of turn number 2. Last lap for Aaron Smith was a 34:01. Jaden Hopp was a 34:16. Little wiggle on Aaron Smith off turn 4. Hopp can't capitalize on it here, still 3.5 tenths. Meanwhile, these two are just checked out from the rest of the pack. Brandon Mefford 2.6 seconds back. 2 laps to go from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Aaron Smith, I wouldn't say he's in cruise control, but man, it's just like deja vu all over again. These two, Aaron Smith, Jaden Hopp, 1 and 2 once again. Smith looking for his 10th win of the season. We're already in our 14th race. Just dominating performance this season out of the 70. There it is, white flag, final lap for Aaron Smith. One more circuit around to hold off Jaden Hopp. Hopp is there, 10th and a half off the back bumper, a car length between the top two. Out of turn number 2, who has the better run? Looks like Hopp's got the run. Does it have enough to get it down the backstretch here into turn number 3 and make the challenge, make the pass, maybe the win for Jaden Hopp? Looking up the high side, steps out just a lane. I don't know if he's got enough. Aaron Smith slides up the racetrack out of turn 4. Jaden Hopp giving it all he's got, but the checkered flag is waving and it lands on the 70 of Aaron Smith. Jaden Hopp was saving his stuff for that final lap. He got awfully close, but it just wasn't enough. Aaron Smith, your race winner. Jaden Hopp second. A great recovery for the 4. Brandon Mefford's going to come home in P3. Aaron Smith, your race winner here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Aaron Smith celebrating here at start finish. We're going to step aside, get a break out of the way, be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Welcome back to Homestead-Miami Speedway, race number 14 in the books of the IROC Challenge Series. And once again, Aaron Smith taking the checkered flag. 10 wins on the season for the driver of the number 70. Let's pull him up into the broadcast booth. Get a word with Aaron Smith. Aaron, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got me?
Yeah, gotcha.
Aaron, congratulations. Another race win, 10th on the season. You didn't seem to have the pace by comparison to Brian McCann here tonight, but he ran into his own bad luck, and you still had pace to hold off a very hard-charging and, well, driven number 4 in Jaden Hopman. How did you hold him off there, especially in that last lap? He really did make a charge.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how hard he'd be running after that incident he had. I don't know what happened to him, but he didn't seem too happy about it. Figured he'd be driving up through the field mad, and I was hoping he'd wear his stuff out by the time he got to me, but there was some yelling on the radio on that last lap there. It completely shook me out there, and I almost lost it on my own, but fortunately I was able to hang on. One more off and it probably would have been over.
Well, he seemed to be saving his stuff there, at least for that final charge. He got within maybe a tenth. It was awfully close, and again, coming out of turn 4, I thought you might have slid up the racetrack just a bit. You held on to it, held on for the race win, and again, you make it 10 race wins this season thus far. I don't want to ask you what the secret is, because I seem like I do that every single week, but let's just move forward here. Next week, we go to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Some guys actually ran that same track last night in the No Bull Racing Series. We don't see you over there, but Brian McCann was one of them. He was a dominant driver there. What do you have on the back burner to maybe take that race win away from Brian McCann next week out of Vegas?
Well, I like Vegas. I don't know if it's going to be a night race or not. It doesn't look like it's going to be, so I should have a pretty solid shot at it there. But hopefully I'll be better than I was tonight. I was about 3rd or 4th in the long runs. Fortunately, everything worked out in my favor, but I wasn't the fastest guy out there tonight. So hopefully I'll be able to fix that next week and come home with the win again.
Well, it's a solid run nonetheless. Any night you run away with the checkered flag, doesn't matter how you got there, as long as you leave with the flag in hand, it's a job well done. So again, Aaron, congratulations on the race win here tonight. Who do you want to thank before we let you get going?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the folks at IROC for putting these races on. It was another great race tonight, and I'd like to thank you for broadcasting and all the folks for watching. Looking forward to getting back at it at Vegas.
Aaron Smith, your race winner here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Next, we're going to talk to runner-up Jaden Hopp in the 4. Certainly not happy about his incident out on the racetrack, but he battled back, came back here for a runner-up finish at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Jaden, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Jaden, congratulations, man. I know you got to be getting tired of these runner-ups, but I must say, a job well done recovering after the incident on the front stretch. It is what it is. First off, let's walk through what happened out of turn 4 there that got you into the wall, at least from your perspective. We watched the replay, but walk us through the issue there out of turn 4.
I'm not too sure what happened there exactly. Like, I was trying to track out, but it felt like I never really got the option.
Well, nonetheless, you got some repairs made. Of course, no fast repairs in this series, but the car looked pretty good pretty quickly after the fact, and it was not long before you're back into the top 5, and then that final caution, final restart, you were right up there battling there with Aaron Smith. You guys checked out. Looked like you saved a little bit for that final lap. Was that kind of the intent? Save the tires, cool them off, and then just have one last lap to give it a go?
Not really, honestly. I thought with, I want to say 4 or 5 laps to go, he was like 4/10 out in front of me, and we were pretty even at that point, so I didn't think I was going to get to him. Then all of a sudden I did, so I just kind of kept trying as hard as I possibly could.
Well, certainly an impressive race here tonight, Jay. And again, anybody that's involved in an incident, especially with these Gen 4 Cup cars, they're pretty sensitive when it comes to the bodies. And you did a really nice job recovering and battling back for a top 3 finish, finishing in the runner-up position. Next week, though, a different ball game. We go to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's a good track for some of these guys. How do you feel about it next week out of Vegas?
I'm not sure, honestly. I think it'll be pretty good. Usually decent at mile and a halves. I would feel better if they allowed me to gamble, though.
Yeah, if he allows you to gamble. Very nice. Well, Jaden, congratulations again on a runner-up finish, man. Thanks for talking to us. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
I'd like to shout out you guys for putting on the great broadcast each week, and my family for watching each week as well.
All right, Jaden. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. We wish you the best next week. Hopefully we can get you in victory lane before this season's out.
Thank you. I hope to be there. About time I break his win streak, huh?
There you go. Jaden Hopp, your runner-up here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Forgot where we were at for a minute. We're going to pull Brandon Mefford, your third-place finisher, up into the booth next. Driver of the number 83 machine. Brandon, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got a solid copy?
I got you, Steve.
Brandon, congratulations, man. You were fast tonight, just plain and simple. Brought home the number 83 here in the third position. Walk us through your night, any strategies that you had to employ. I know it's kind of tough here with the fuel that you guys are given and the 2 sets of tires over the wall. It's a thinking race all night long. But what was the game plan coming into Homestead?
Now, Steve, we were running this bracket deal here in the IROC series, so I was racing at Aaron Smith tonight, and everybody knows, I think tonight was his 10th race win, so my goal tonight was to stay somewhere in eye shot of him and maybe try to do something differently in the race if it fell our way. But I didn't like how the cautions fell there at the end, and we ended up on the same strategy and tried too hard there at the very end and wore my tires out, and he was able to drive away and get the win.
Well, it is what it is. There's always next week, and next week brings us to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where we ran a no bowl last night. Brian McCann was awfully quick last night, taking home the race win. How do you feel about your chances next week out at Vegas?
Well, Brian's going to be hard to beat, but I think we learned a lot last night. Going to take that with us and hopefully pick up a W and try to close out this season strong.
Well, it's certainly all we can hope for and see what happens. Again, congratulations on the third place run here tonight. Brandon, who do you want to shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to Aaron McCann for taking us to school again and on his 10th win this year. Great job, just a phenomenal job by that guy. He's hard to beat anywhere we go, and so shout out to him. Shout out to all the guys in the league. Great league to be a part of. I'm very fortunate to race in 3 great leagues throughout the week. This one being my home league, and then all the sponsors over here at R&R Racewear, Spartan Transportation, 5-Star Graphics. I'm sure there's plenty others I can't think of right now. And then all the fans back home watching. I hope that we put on a show, and don't forget to hit that like button. And then my family, my Spartan or my Charity Motorsports teammates, all 7 or 8 of them. And then just happy to be here, man. So thanks a lot for putting on the broadcast again.
Brandon, thanks for talking to us, man. Wish you the best of luck out at Vegas.
Thanks, Steve.
It's Brandon Mefford, your third-place finisher here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. That's going to wrap up the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. With that, we'll jump into our race results. Of course, Aaron Smith, Jaden Hopp, Brandon Mefford, your top 3. Fourth was Brian McCann. After getting caught during that pit cycle, he was a lap down, got the lucky dog, I believe, and was able to get back on the lead lap and then push for a 4th place finish. A strong run for the 3, but I think he was in position for a race win here tonight, so I'm sure he's a little bit dejected out of that. 5th place went to Neil Quick. Trevor Quick was 6th. Rick Kelly finishes in the 7th spot. Mike McDonald finished 8th. 9th went to William Tyndall. Jason Nilgis was 10th. Mike Cook was 11th. Chris Wally 12th. Matt Kopp finishes 13th. 14th goes to Chris Mefford. Stan Carnathan 15th. Jeff Noe was 16th. 17th place finisher was Doug Wysocki. Josh Braley was 18th. Josh Funkhauser 19th. And last but not least was Cook Quick in the 20th spot, 70 laps down. I don't know if he just called it quits early or what the situation was. I know he hit pit lane about lap 7 or 8 for fuel, and this never recovered after that. So it was an early end for the number 23. But that's your race results here from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Next on the docket is going to be Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Again, if you want a little preview of that, you can go back through the, very near recent archives at HBR TV and watch the No Bull Racing Series out in Las Vegas. That was yesterday. And IROC's own Brian McCann taking the checkered flag there last night. Might be a preview of what you'll see next week, but you never know. Again, can't take the hats to victory lane until the checkered flag waves. The race has got to be run to determine the winner, so make sure you guys tune in for that here next week, certainly at HBR TV and IROC TV as well. For that, thank you guys for jumping in the stream chat here tonight. It was certainly a fun one. A lot of strategies at play. Cautions, as Mefford had mentioned, kind of landed oddball here tonight, a little more so than normal. Caught some guys out, helped some guys out. It's just the way that it goes sometimes. But with that, I thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already liked the stream, please do that. It's youtube.com/@HBRTV1. Like that stream. It helps us here at the channel, also helps the league. It gets some fresh eyeballs on each race every time we're here broadcasting live. Help us out with that live or that like button. It doesn't cost anything to do. It's just taking you 2 seconds to do it. Also, if you haven't already checked out the website, hbrtv1.com, we try to get the live link up there. And if we forget the live link, well, at least you got the old link for the previous race, and you can still find the channel that way, so that's always a plus. That's going to wrap it up, though. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV saying congratulations to Aaron Smith for his 10th win on the season. We'll see you guys next week out at Vegas. Have a good night.